Ladies and gentlemen, here we are, Hooptalk, the podcast. We're all the way in season 4, man. It's been one hell of a journey, so we appreciate y'all for tapping in with us. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. And if you're already a member or if you're already subscribed and you want to see us grow, hit that join button and allow us the opportunity to become bigger and better every single day. With your support, we can make that happen. So, shout out to anybody who has been here throughout this journey. Shout out to anybody who has continuously supported us and will continue to support us. We love y'all. We're back, same gang as usual. Let's get into it. Episode 2, ladies and gentlemen. We have a secret topic to start off. The guys have no idea what it is. I feel like it's much better
No clue,
conversation.
actually.
I think it's a
Didn't
much
even
better
warn us.
conversation if everybody comes from it with a completely empty mind, no way to think about it in advance. However, now that I think about it, I do know Tyler did mention he's not like as huge of an anime fan, but I think you'll still have an answer. I think you've watched enough anime to at least have an answer for it based on the anime you have watched. So let's see how it goes. I'll let you all tell me, and we can debate whether or not we agree or disagree with the take. Who are your top three anime characters that need to be put on fraud alert? I've been seeing this on social media,
Man,
and it's characters who are perceived to be great, perceived to be phenomenal. Maybe not perceived to be the best in the show, but at the very least, they're given this aura, right? They're given this idea of they're supposed to be really cool, they're supposed to be really good,
I got this.
but they're low key have to be on fraud alert because low key motherfuckers be getting wiped every single time. Or it doesn't even have to be every single time. It could be just one fight that makes you think like, nah, you were supposed to win that fight, and now you're on fraud alert because you lost. You know what I mean? Like three characters in anime history that you believe should be on fraud alert. Y'all watching at home, let us know in the comment section who are your three anime characters. I'll let Tyler go first. He said he got his.
Listen, Cell.
Man,
I'm gonna
I
start
don't
with
know
Cell.
about that
Cell
one.
got beat by Goku, who decided that he didn't want to win the fight. He did just back off. He would have got the shit kicked out of him. And then obviously he got beat by a young like Gohan. Like he got beat by a child. Gohan was like 11 at the time.
True.
Okay.
The other one, I don't think you guys have ever seen this, because it it's like a weirder show, I think. But there's a show called Hellsing, which is about like Dracula, pretty much like the vampire. And there's this butler in the show that they have who is like really strong and like he was like this really badass. He finally fights the main character and he gets like the shit beat out of him in like seconds. Like he doesn't do nothing.
Okay.
And then who am I thinking for the last one? I haven't really seen too many animes, which is a problem. But so I'll go back to Dragon Ball Z. I No, that's a hot take. That's a hot. You know who's the biggest fraud? Hercule.
That's funny.
Not Hercule. You got it straight today.
Hercule's the biggest fraud, like factually. Like you can't really argue that. I think we could agree on that one.
He's a fraud.
Yeah.
He's a fraud in the show. Though. Like that's the gimmick of his character.
Exactly.
That's funny.
uh, yeah. I mean, I think I might be the biggest anime head in here, so I'm definitely gonna give you guys some names. First one I'm gonna go with is Sanji from One Piece. He is the left wing for Luffy, the main character. I think he should be on fraud alert because the power levels of Zoro, which is he's the vice captain, the power of Zoro and Luffy are like infinitely above Sanji. I know people are gonna see this video. You can clip this. You're probably gonna argue with me, but I think Sanji should definitely be on fraud alert. My next one, if I'm gonna really, really think about it, I'm gonna have to put the main character. Oh no, I can't do that. Can't do that. Uh, hmm, man, it's a big list. Itachi. I think Itachi should be put on fraud alert too. I think Itachi's aura was way bigger than how strong he was. So I'm gonna put Itachi
Terrible
up
take.
there.
Terrible take.
Hey, listen, I've
Terrible.
always thought Itachi, and then his brother will come in the third place, Sasuke. I also don't think Sasuke is as strong or durability wise can last as long and as fight by himself as Naruto and the other guys. That's how I feel about anybody with those eyes. Is I just feel like when you have those eyes, they drain your powers a lot faster, and the fights can't be as long, and then you're in a position where kind of disabled.
I don't
But yeah,
understand either of those. I don't understand either. Sasuke is written to be the second best character in the show, and he is the second best character in the show. He accomplished the mission. That's what he's supposed to be. He's not supposed to be better than Naruto. Naruto is the name is the show is named after him.
no, I hear you. I hear you. But
How can you be a
still,
fraud if you accomplish the goal?
what was his goal?
To be the second best character in the show.
I don't think that was his goal. His goal was to be the best
The show
character
of
in the show.
the goal of the show, the goal of the writing of the character. That's how they wrote him. They wrote him.
Yeah, but writing and what the character ends up being are two different things. In the show, Sasuke is trying to beat Naruto the whole time, and I mean, he was at one point better than Naruto. Then Naruto like elapsed him by like a mile or two. But that's just my take. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I think that's terrible. I think Sasuke is exactly what he's supposed to be. Um, and let's not even get started about Itachi. Oh, well, that'll be another day. But
Yeah, I feel like you have a love with Itachi. When I said that, I saw your face.
I don't. He's not. I don't. I just think you were wrong. But my fraud. I actually have two Bleach characters. One is a bit of a deep cut, so I don't know if you guys have ever watched Bleach enough to know who he is. But the other one is a main character, or I mean, a main side character, I guess I would call him. But Renji is 100% on fraud alert. For anybody who doesn't know, look him up. Renji. He's one of the Soul Society members that ended up becoming part of the clique of the show, whatever the case is. And that motherfucker gets Bankai, and which is supposed to be this extra extraordinary feat and supposed to make you like super OP. Meanwhile, his Bankai is hot ass. It just literally does nothing special whatsoever. Everybody's Bankai does something cool and something unique. His Bankai is just this giant dragon snake looking thing that shoots a beam. I'm like, there's nothing. You could have probably done that on your regular release. Why the fuck did you like? I didn't understand why they gave him Bankai just to give him such a trash Bankai. Not to mention, there was an episode where they have to get through a wall as they're running away from something, and he fucking uses his Bankai to break the wall. Immediately, I was like, yeah, you a bum. You are a bum. Imagine Goku using Imagine Goku using a spirit bomb to open a door that's locked. That's the equivalent. That's the equivalent. Yeah, like I can't find the keys, can't break it open, with all these powers and abilities. So I'm gonna use my strongest ability to break this open. I'm like, that is ultimate fraud alert, because it's like, why are you spamming the show's most powerful ability on a fucking wall? Like, that's so stupid to me. And then they made it seem like, oh, he got Bankai out, he's gonna be this incredible character. It's like, no, he wasn't. He redeemed himself in the recent season. They gave him a new version of his Bankai, but I feel like that just empowers.
What did they do to change his Bankai?
They gave it like a real actual power and stuff, and it's like an upgraded version.
You don't sound too impressed by it.
No, it was real. He definitely redeemed himself for sure. But like, I'm like, why would you do that in the first place if you're just gonna rewrite it to give him a more powerful version? It's like, you fucked up in the first place. So Renji's on fraud alert. There's another character though, in Bleach. Bleach, I feel like, has a variety of frauds that really need to be put to the spotlight. And you all let me know at home if you all anime fans if I'm tripping. But there's one character. What's that character's name? I just looked it up. Where did I put it? Gremmy. This is a deep cut. So even if you watch Bleach, you might not remember. But there's a character whose power is to make anything he imagines come to life. Right? You would think that's OP.
I remember that guy. Yeah.
You would think that's OP. You would think, until he fights Kenpachi. And this motherfucker loses because he tries to imagine himself becoming stronger than Kenpachi, and he fucking blows up because his imagination can't fathom the idea of being stronger than Kenpachi. That is the craziest. That's shout out to Kenpachi, because that's facts. That's what his character is supposed to be. He's supposed to be like the infinitely strong individual who just gets stronger as he goes. He's kind of like a Goku style character, right? I mean, like, he just gets stronger as he goes, and no matter how tough the opponent is, blah blah. That's his whole niche. So it makes sense. But like, for you to have the power to imagine anything to life and you can't even imagine yourself stronger than your opponent, that to me is ultimate fraud alert. Like, that's crazy. That man was imagining everything. That man
He
was
blew up.
imagining everything. He died. He died because his imagination could not take the idea of
He thought too hard.
how do I ever become stronger than this fucking demon of a person? Like, I don't think it's possible. So he just says, "Fuck it, I'm just imagine us dead. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna imagine us dead and get it over with." That to me was insane. But unfortunately, my last fraud alert, and then you guys will be more familiar with this one. Um, I was very, very disappointed with Kakashi. He's my favorite character. He,
Whoa.
he's my favorite character, but Kakashi is on ultimate fraud alert. He is the copy ninja and knows 1,000 jutsu. I could probably count on my hand how many of him he actually uses in the show. Like, I could probably count in my hand. Huh?
What's this one from?
No, Naruto. He's the guy with that covers his eye, with the white hair, or silver, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And yeah, he's the copy ninja, the man with 1,000 jutsus, but he never fucking
Oh, this
uses
dude
it.
always looks so cool.
Yes, exactly. That's the whole idea. He's supposed to have this cool, design to him with the eye covered up and the cool hair and everything. He's the nonchalant guy. Always, by the way, he's always reading porn everywhere he goes. Let's just put that out there.
Everywhere he goes.
Put that out there. But it's insane to me because he's my favorite character and I do think he's really strong. But it's so like dumb to me that everybody who sees him glazes him for being Kakashi, the copy ninja, but he never uses the things that he copied. He did it one time in the beginning of the fucking show in the first villain versus Zabuza, where he uses all the water jutsu, and that's the only real time that you watch him use jutsus that he's copied from the past in a fight. Every time after that, he uses nothing. He just spams his fucking Shidori the entire fucking show and then teaches it to Sasuke. So I'm like, what the fuck, bro? And then not to mention, as soon as they bounce over to Boruto, they just paint him as this washed old man. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, what's happening? I thought Kakashi was supposed to be the greatest ninja in the Hidden Leaf. Like, what the fuck? So he's my favorite character, but like low key, Kakashi's on fraud alert, man. And if you disagree, let us know in the comment section because
I disagree right now.
I'll debate about it. I don't see why you would. Give me a reason. Well, why would he not be on fraud alert? What did he do?
I think Kakashi knew the whole time he was never meant to be stronger than these guys though. Like he handpicked that team. I don't know if you ever saw that. He like handpicked the team. I think he knew the whole time he was supposed to just make these guys amazing. But I think young Kakashi, when he was in the Black Ops or Ambu, Ambu, I think he was S tier at that time with Obito. I think he was very S tier, and that was before he was the copy ninja. So I don't know. I just feel like he was trying to raise ninjas at the time. Like there were literally he was the dad for Naruto and Sasuke. Like he was like their adopted father. They both didn't have their dads. So it's just like I don't know. I gotta kind of like disagree there with that. I just feel like his purpose wasn't to be the strongest. I think his purpose was to be the best teacher, and I think he did that. He did that very well. I think he did that very, very well.
It's not about being the strongest though. It's about being depicted as being really strong and never actually showing how strong you really are. Like they never actually show how good this guy is supposed to be. The only time they finally show it is at the end of the show, and then even then he still loses. When was the last time Kakashi didn't get his ass handed to him? Think about all the times.
I think towards the end of the show, everybody's a god at that point. Like Sasuke and Naruto were gods at that point.
So is he. Well, he doesn't fight Naruto and Sasuke, so that doesn't matter. I'm talking about the people.
No,
who
what
does
I'm trying
fight.
to tell you, I'm not saying that he does. I'm just saying I don't think he's at that power level of where Naruto and Sasuke were towards the end, and I think he knew that the whole time. I don't like. I think at that time, that timeline of what he was going through, I don't think he was the strongest anyways either. I don't think he was even S tier at the time. Even in the beginning of Naruto, I kind of had that hint that he's not the strongest.
No, he was though. That's the thing. See, that's why you don't think it's a fraud alert because he was. He was painted by everybody.
You think he was the strongest? I don't think he was the
100%. He was the strong. He was probably the second strongest ninja in the Leaf Village next to Jiraiya. Like
when they were younger.
when they were younger, of course, especially when they were younger. Naruto and
I don't
Sasuke
think
weren't.
so, bro.
Yeah, Naruto and Sasuke were not like that at that age. They were just beating the people
I
who.
think the Hokage at the time was still stronger than Kakashi.
He died instantly. He
The
died.
Hokage?
He died at the beginning of the show. He was like the first major arc.
Yeah, but he still wasn't strong. He was placed. I mean, at that point, Orochimaru was like triple OG plus strong. At that point, he was like the
I'm talking about
strongest
in the
person we've
Leaf
seen
Village, though. I'm talking about in the Leaf Village. I'm not talking about all
in the
the other
Leaf Village.
villages.
Yeah, he was arguably. I think he's fourth or fifth, arguably.
Next to who? When they were younger?
Guy Sensei. Well, not younger when they were teachers. When he's a teacher.
Yeah,
When he's a
exactly. Guy
teacher.
wasn't stronger than
Yeah,
Kakashi yet because he hasn't shown anything yet. So we couldn't say he's stronger yet. Guy hadn't.
true, true.
He wasn't in any.
I get what you're saying.
Guy didn't show his abilities until the end of the show. So we don't know how strong Guy is until later on. Well, you said yourself that when they were younger. Good Guy hadn't fought anybody when they were younger. So we have no clue how good Guy
You're right.
is.
You're right. You're right.
So
You're
all
right.
the
You're right.
people who showed their capabilities in an actual fight were Jiraiya and Kakashi, and then the third Hokage. The third Hokage doesn't last long, so I'm not even gonna count him. But I mean, I guess you could, and that will put Kakashi in third place. And my point is, every single fight Kakashi takes in that show, he gets his ass handed to him. He never gets an opportunity to exhibit how good he is. He fights the Akatsuki dudes, Hida and Kakuzu, gets his ass handed to him, has to be saved by Naruto. He fights Itachi and Kisame, gets his ass handed to him, has to be saved by Guy. He fights Pain in the Leaf Village when he tries to conquer everything, gets his ass handed to him, actually dies. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, he died.
Gets killed by Pain. So every single time Kakashi has a big fight, he does get his ass handed to him. That's fraud alert. I mean, I don't know what else. And I'm not comparing it to anybody else because I know other
I
characters.
think it's because you viewed him as S tier, and I even when the show started, I never viewed him as S tier. Especially that first fight when they went to the Hidden Water Village or Hidden Mist Village. That in my head, it hit me. Oh, he's not S tier. Like he's not S tier. Because I think his name was Zabuza. Zabuza was arguably, and the dude with the bunch of mirrors, they're arguably like kicking Kakashi's ass by themselves. And a lot of times Kakashi's doing 2v1s, 3v1s. Like Kakashi's actually kind of a fucking hard. Like I forgot about that. Most of his fights are like 2v1s, or he's getting hawked down by a team of ninjas. But again, I digress because I can't agree with you that he probably was the third best at the time in the village. I can't disagree with that part right there.
Exactly. That's the whole point. So I feel like that's fraud
My
alert.
dog is. Yeah, go ahead. My bad.
I feel like that's fraud alert because at the end of the day, you're painted as being one of the best ninja in your village, specifically in your category. But every time you fight, you end up losing, and that doesn't change the fact that I still think he's my favorite character because I still like his design. I still like everything he does. And everybody, and that's why I think he's on fraud alert because if you go back and you watch, every single person who fights Kakashi glazes the fuck out of Kakashi.
Yeah,
Like
they do.
everybody.
Yeah,
Everybody
they do.
thinks.
I will give you that.
Yeah, everybody who fights
Yeah,
Kakashi views him as this scary ninja who like you don't want to fight him, he's gonna fuck you up, and all of a sudden he fights and he gets fucked up. So I'm like, all right, like even Itachi talks about Kakashi like he was this big bad wolf, and then he proceeds to whoop Kakashi's ass. I'm like, okay, well, what was the point of glazing him if you're just gonna beat his ass? You know what I mean? Like, what was the point of that?
Yeah. I think, but I mean, I'm totally off script, but Itachi's whole story is fire. Like when you think about it, he was a double agent the whole time. Shit was fire.
Yeah, that was a plot twist. If you haven't watched Naruto yet, I'm ashamed of you. Don't ever call yourself an anime
For
fan
real.
if you have not watched Naruto yet, because that is the anime to watch. You know what I mean? But if you have any takes, if you haven't already, man, leave it in the comment section. Who are your 3 characters that need to be put on fraud alert, who have been depicted as strong or the strongest, but never held their end of the bargain? Let us know in the comment section right now, man. Let's talk about some basketball. We got the Oxleague, as usual. We're going to have it every week until October. And they just had week 2 games 3 and 4 of their league. And I believe, what was it? Friday? Who was it? Who did they play? Or who played, I guess.
S-Star
The Central Florida
Snipers.
or Florida Central Snipers, and who was the other one, Tyler? My bad.
S-Star versus the Snipers. Central Florida Snipers.
Yeah, Death Star versus the Snipers. That was a good game. Unfortunately, due to some players trying to liven the mood. We didn't get any type of monetization from that, so screw y'all. We're gonna skip to the next game. What was the game on Saturday? It was no, I'm kidding. We're not.
Oh man, shit. I had some good stuff I wanted to say about the Florida Snipers when I woke up this morning, but I guess not.
No, I'm just kidding. But
Just want
yeah,
to give some kudos.
we can talk about that game though. Snipers making their debut in the Oxleague, I believe. I want to say this is their first league overall, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't seen them join any leagues. New team in the Central Florida area, trying to give some players an opportunity, trying to grow as a team here in the semi-pro scene. So I believe the Ox League is their first encounter with league play, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comment section. But what do you guys think about that team, and what are your overall thoughts about that game?
They're just
Uh,
having fun.
oh, yeah.
They were there was a point where they were up by 30. Um and they just got kind of real disrespectful. I'm
Score
not gonna
100. Let's
lie.
score 100. Let's try to score.
Like that was kind of fucked up. But I mean, shit, what can you do? They were beating them the fuck up. They really were. Um, Nixon Alvarado. At one point, they called a timeout where they didn't have a timeout, and he's like, "Give him a tech," and they had like 90 points at that point. Like there was no need to do that. But I don't know. Death Star, there's a lot of new faces there that I've never really seen before in other leagues. So, maybe they're nice, but this really wasn't a good outing. Elijah did look pretty good. Um, kind of ends there, realistically.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean Matt Williams is a good player. He did a really good job on the snipers end. I don't know. I think I'm trying to say this without coming across as sneak this, and I don't know if they had everybody that they typically would like to play with, but I also because I've seen players like Rick, for example, and some other players. I don't remember all the players' names, but I've seen them hoop in the area. Like they have a little bit more size to them every once in a while. But what I've noticed about the snipers is that they don't have like a consistent group of guys. I think they're trying to make that happen and get themselves a consistent group of guys. Um, so I think this is a good start. I would say they have a good framework for the most part. And coming from
Yeah.
a semi-pro owner myself, I think it's about kind of just continuing to find the pieces, um, and figuring out what's gonna get guys together. You know what I mean? Like for me, it worked out that it was more of a hometown situation where players would have more of a sense of pride for participating and on the team, right? So that helped. I think you just have to find what that is for them. What is the niche that's gonna make people want to stick around, want to play with us consistently? They are going to participate in the E League coming this fall, so I'm interested to see what their roster is going to look like for that. But they have a good framework. I like Matt Williams. I think he's a very talented player. He's young, which is good. That means he has opportunities to develop and get better. I think he's about 21, if I'm not mistaken. And I think he's a really good player. He has a really good shot to him, really good ability to finish at the rim as well. Um, so he's a good way to start, and the pieces around that can also help. But we'll see how they go, man.
Yeah.
He's got a decent amount of size and speed too to him.
Yeah. I mean, my first thing with the whole thing is I think the snipers. Uh, I love the way that like I see a lot of guys get on this scene and they try to overcompensate for being a team owner. Like, and I know Nas have seen it where they kind of try to do the whole thing, the coaching. They try to be a player. They try to like do too much. I like the ease that the snipers have for a new organization. I like how they uplift each other. That's really big team camaraderie. When you're doing something like this, you need that environment. Overall, I mean, I only got to see clips of them on the internet, and some of the players they have, and I knew I like Nas says, I know they do have size with people like Rick and things like that, but I really want to just say, like, I like the trajectory, I like what they have. I like the nucleus they have. They have a lot of guys that people know and that are played in other FBA teams. And I know we were kind of poking at the whole 100 ball game, but even towards the end of the game, there was like 30 seconds left. Their point guard, which I'm sorry I forgot your name. He was
Nixon
giving us
when he put the ball down.
yeah, he put the ball down and he was like, "No, I know we were playing, but I'm really respectful." And I kind of like that. I do. I like that he kind of noticed the other team was defeated already and he wasn't going to rub it in their face. He said that too. He dapped him up, and it was all love after the game. I know Nas doesn't agree with that. He was talking a lot of
Oh,
shit.
that was
about his
Yusuf.
friend.
I remember now.
Yeah, Yusuf.
Yeah,
Fraud,
that was Yusuf.
we want to talk about fraud alert. Let's talk about fraud alert. That there was 30 seconds left in the game, or 20 seconds left in the game. That's not you can't do that the whole end of the fourth quarter and then the last 20 seconds talk about I have respect. No, you don't. Stop it.
Well,
He was the one that said let's get to 100. So shut the fuck up. What are you saying? Like you don't have respect.
I'm trying to give them flowers.
No. I don't give flowers where flowers aren't deserved. Like that's not to me. That's not respect. Like I think that adds to the disrespect. It's like we've been beating your ass so bad, we're just gonna give you a break for the last 20 seconds of the game. Whoop the fucking do. Like come on. You weren't playing the game for real the entire fourth quarter. And I think overall that is disrespectful in of itself. And even if my team does it, I'm not a fan of it. And they have, and I've expressed that I don't like that. I think that's a disrespect to the game of basketball. And ultimately, there's no reason to make yourselves villains like that. You know what I mean? Like there's no reason to do that. And I just felt like they have no ill intention at the end of the day, and I fully understand that. They're just out there having fun. But let's also not try to fake it. Like all of a sudden we're respectful. It was like, okay, you were disrespectful the whole fourth quarter. You can't just say with 24 seconds left, I'm going to be respectful now. That makes up for all the times we were chucking up half-court shots for the last 5 minutes of the game. Like,
I will say this. This is the only thing I want to say now because I can't disagree with you on that because that was going on. But I will say this: the fact that in the middle of it, even if it's 30 seconds left, I got to give credit where it's due. He kind of noticed that. I was like, damn. And some people need to they need a little bit more time, like me, to process everybody else's emotions. And I think he noticed it. And everybody dapped up and they showed mad love. That's the one thing I do want to say. I know you're right, Nas. They were doing a lot of fuckery. What I, as a player, would not have taken. Someone would have been on their ass because I'm not a guinea pig, but yeah, that's just me though.
that
But
to
yeah,
me is
I
like
agree with you.
it's like a boxing match or an MMA match. Imagine you knock somebody out, and for some reason, for whatever odd reason, the referee doesn't immediately step in to stop it. So you punch the person on the ground 3 more times. And then when the referee stops it, you say, "Oh, my bad. Oops." Like, no, shut the fuck up. No. You punched him when he was asleep. He was asleep on the ground, and you punched him 3 more times. And the referee finally got to you, separated you, and you said, "Oops, my bad. I thought he was still up." I was like, "Okay, shut the fuck up." No, I can't do it. You know me. I'm gonna always be honest.
Yeah,
I can't do
I
it.
know, I know, I know, I know.
I can't do it. Shout out to you for giving them flowers, but no, I did not get no flowers from
Shout
me.
out. Hey, Stone's gonna get a shout out here. It's me.
Hey,
I
I
got
think
it.
the Flowers were a good showing. That's the first time I got to see them play, and it was good.
Yeah, that's true.
What?
That is true. They did
They
play
were supposed to
well.
play the Serpents originally, but I know the Serpents kind of failed.
Yeah, they were scared or
Ryan was
something like
scared.
that.
Oh no, that's not what happened at all. But okay, whatever we want
I'm
to
just
say.
saying, that's what I was told. I was told
Yeah.
that.
Nobody told you
Someone
that.
also
You
told me
said
that was
that.
last minute. You were like, "Nah, these guys are too good. We shouldn't do this."
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody told you that. Moving on to the second game of week 2, ladies and gentlemen. Lions Perception versus the Orlando Stampede. Another unfortunate beating happened on this game as well. A little less of a beating, luckily, but Lions Perception having a rough start to the season, starting 0-2, while the Stampede start 2-0. What are your thoughts on this game, and what are some highlights you'd like to bring up to the people?
That was such a low scoring game.
It was.
Do you remember? What did it end with? Do they have that up already?
I'm at the end right now, and it's 72-55. I want to say it ended 77-55 because I remember they never added the last. Yep, there you go, 77-55, and the game's over. There it is, right there. Yep.
Never mind. That ended a little higher than I thought. Because going into the fourth quarter, they had like 44. It was 33-44.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we were talking about it. They ended up picking up the pace towards the end. Yeah,
Shout
I
out
remember that.
to Mama Gray for supporting us
Yeah.
on the channel as well. She was talking the most. That hella engagement. I appreciate that.
Yeah, 100%.
Shout out to Trey as well.
Yeah, Trey had his.
Want to shout out to her? Yeah. Oh, my bad. Nas, go ahead.
No, go ahead. It sounds like whatever you're gonna say is gonna be an interesting topic of conversation.
She just held her son accountable the whole time. I respect mothers like that.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah, me too. She's like, "You didn't travel. Well, your mom said you did."
We're not gonna question that anymore.
Yeah, he
He gotta
definitely.
accept it now at this point.
Yeah, he definitely traveled too.
Yeah.
I was surprised, but you could tell when a hooper knows they did something wrong because like their argument isn't like strong. You know what I mean? When they're adamant about them not doing something, then they truly believe it. But when they're just like doing a little like, I didn't travel. What do you mean? You know what I mean? When they're just doing a little.
Travel? No
You know that
way.
Kevin McFarland when he has his hands in his pocket like this.
Yeah, he definitely he knew he traveled. He just can't admit it in the middle of a game.
Me?
But there's no way. There's no way. But yeah, he Trey had a good game. He had a lot of good finishes at the basket, which I wanted to bring up. He had a lot of good and ones.
Yeah.
He's a strong player. I will say. I think that's something that he's exhibited in the past and continues to exhibit. He does a really good job of finishing at the rim. I think Jalen probably had another big game. I think he had. I want to say he had 27 the first game. I think they posted.
Yeah, he did.
And I wouldn't be surprised if he had another 20 plus game again, because Jalen's definitely coming to this league this season to prove some haters wrong. Haters being me. Because I definitely talked some trash about him last season, how he kind of died out as the season went along after starting and showing us that he was such a great player, and then he kind of had so many great games or so
In the
many.
playoffs?
Yeah,
Huh?
I never
No, in the
thought
regular
he
Watch him
season.
in the playoffs?
What happened? Say that again.
Did you watch him in the playoffs?
Yeah, I did
Yeah,
watch him in
like
the playoffs, and that's when I stopped talking shit. But you were there with me
uh
talking the same amount of shit when he was having all
Tyler.
those games back to back of doing nothing. So don't even.
Not me.
It's recorded.
Not me.
It's recorded. We could go back. Tyler
He's
agreed.
fucking Pluto.
Oh, yeah,
I
probably
will
all
say
three of
this.
us.
I will say this about like the other brother. Uh I
Lamar?
felt like
Use
he finally
names.
found what's his name?
Use names, bro. Lamar.
Lamar. I usually call him the contrast brother. I probably butchered that too. But Lamar in general, I think I think last season we thought that his spot was like that left like hash wing type thing. But really his spot is
We
that
did not think anything.
right. Well, Tyler
Right.
was big on thinking that was his spot. But his spot really is that right free throw line. He's made a lot of tough shots these last 2 weeks from that spot. He made one that we clipped up where he kind of sliced and diced my boy. But yeah, like he's actually like more. I would say both of them are like being super consistent on a team that's super stacked. And the pieces that they picked up with these guys work so well. And I just feel like at the end of the day, I don't see Stampede losing any game this year at all, unless the players don't show up. That's the only way. But like even the players on that team, every player on that team shows up every week. I've never seen any of those players really miss a week. So it's gonna be very, very interesting at Stampede this year. I think they might run away with this thing if Rick doesn't come through.
Listen, we've learned that that man's spot is just everywhere on the floor at this point.
Yeah,
There's
Lamar's
no spot
great. Lamar's
he
great.
doesn't feel strong at.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the brothers are a good tandem overall. They have a really
yeah.
good shooting ability. I think Jalen does a really good job of breaking down the defense and getting to the rim. Lamar has a really nice shot on him. I think they complement each other very well, which is so unique. Honestly, when you see brothers, you see brothers more like a how would I say, like a mimic game where they kind of play similarly
I
to
get
each
what you're
other.
saying.
You know what I mean? Because
Yep.
they play with each other so much. The younger brother typically tries to outdo the older brother. But this is a more unique situation where I feel like their games kind of contrast each other in a way where it works. I
Yeah.
think Jalen likes to get to the rack a lot more than Lamar likes. Lamar likes to pull up in the mid range. He likes to take a lot of threes. It's so interesting to me how well that glues together. You know what I mean? And a lot of opportunities that I saw, Jalen driving to the basket, kicking it out to Lamar. It's a dope little tandem that they have, and I think it would be great to see them in a lot of leagues in this area because I think they would
Yeah.
do very well in a lot of these leagues. I think they're a talented uh, a duo.
I forgot
Yeah.
Jalen played at the Ace League, didn't he?
I don't recall. His name was on there, but I
Yeah.
wasn't there watching the game. But I did see his
Yeah,
name
Yeah.
on there.
I
I'm
didn't.
interested.
I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna ask him next week if he played in the Ace League at all. But I
He
do
was on a
think your guys
roster.
are right.
He was on a roster. I know
Oh,
that
he's
to
on
be
the
a
roster.
fact. Yeah, we didn't go anymore, so I couldn't see if he played. You know what I mean?
I'll ask him if he got any tick though. That's really what I want to know. But I think those two brothers are going to be very big. Like once like Central Florida kind of gets on them, because I think a GM5 team could use either one of them. and they could be instantly a little bit better. And I think that's like, I hate to say it. Well, I don't hate to say it. GM5 is like the premier league, when it comes to like in our area, other than the Ace League, right? So I think in a league like that, I want to see how their games are on that stage, right? With a little bit more, with height, with a little bit more size, with a little bit more experience, college athletes, thus forth. I want to see how it looks there. I want to see if Jalen can get to the rim as easily. I want to see if Lamar can make as many chase down blocks. There's a couple things I want to see if it translates when you play better competition. So I definitely do want to. I definitely hope they can end up on a GM5 team. That's my pitch for everybody. I hope they can pick them up. They're really good players. There's other players in this league as well that are just maybe not just as good, but just as great. You got Keaton. He can be very, very helpful for a lot of teams as a rebounder, as a backup power forward for some teams. There's a lot of players in this league that GM5 can really take from Trent, bring Trent back. I know Tyler mentioned that. Tyler was really big on Trent. He's always been big on Trent. So like, there's a lot of players right now that I feel like could make that extra step, and I would like to see in like a more competitive league for sure. Not saying the Oxleague isn't, but you guys know what I mean. Just big, more of a talent pool. That's the word I'm using. More of a talent pool.
So you're saying the
There we go.
Oxleague is
I don't think
trash? Is what
anybody's
you're saying?
small on Trent.
I'm not saying the Oxleague is trash. The Oxleague is great. I'm saying I want to see them
That's what I
play
heard.
higher competition. That's all.
So better competition than the Oxleague has to offer.
You're a great lawyer. You're a great lawyer. You're a great fucking lawyer. I plead the fifth.
No, listen, it benefits the Oxleague because there's people that were in the GM5 league, like Justin, for example, J Ball. Like we got to see him go to the Oxleague, and it's good to intermingle because you get talent from other leagues to kind of join each
Yeah.
other.
And that's
Like
really what it
joining the
is.
GM5 gives you more experience, more opportunity to play with each other, and then you have the opportunity to bring people back. That's the benefit of the Oxleague having their team in GM5 as well. Just extra opportunity.
Listen,
You can go farm players from each other. Someone who's not doing so good at the GM5, come to the Ox League. Hey, maybe you can have a great season here, build your confidence up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, now you say they're trash.
yeah, now you're 100% saying they're
Am I
trash.
saying that? I don't mean to
Yes.
say that. I'm
You're
just
saying,
There's
it's
no
like,
way to
listen,
take that.
listen, bro. If you're not having a good time in the NBA, how about you go play in the G League? That might be a little bit better for you. You know what I mean? That's what you're saying right
That's
now.
exactly what you said.
really what I'm saying is if you're not doing good in the NBA, let's go try the Euro League. Let's try another professional setting.
Yeah, you
That's
say they're
all.
trash.
That's all I'm saying. Euro League is not trash.
Compared to the NBA, though, like if you're comparing the two,
I never
still,
compared the
you don't
Ox
have to
League and them.
compare them.
Two different talent pools. That's the word I like to use. Two different talent pools. But that's just
Listen.
being real. I'm not going to sit here and lie. They are two different talent pools. We can't sit here and say we can make an all-star team of the Ox League to
We
go
also
against.
don't have to say that though. We we don't.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Two things can't be true. Two things can't be true.
Listen, overall, we were given some advice before the games today, and I'm going to take that advice and I'm going to talk about the players a little bit more. And you know what? I'm going to make it a not ironic, but a full circle moment, I guess I would call it, and talk about the same player who gave us the advice in the first place. Josias, my friend, you should have never said it because now I got to talk about you, all right? I think
Hey, he's a bucket.
I think you're a great player overall. But in all honesty, if I had to get some advice today, and this is about, I could actually give this advice to a couple players in the league. We talked about it at the game, actually, me and Tyler, about somebody else, but I'm going to say it about Josias. You got to hit the gym, brother. You got to hit the gym. I think you're a good player, but I think you just don't have the energy for the game. I think a couple buckets and you just lose it. You know what I mean? Like I think in the first quarter, I don't remember if the second quarter he kept it going.
Went crazy that first quarter.
Yeah.
But I think after that little spurt of going crazy, I don't really recall much from Josias. You know what I mean? And I think he was gasping for a lot. So I think a lot of players, and I use Josias as my example just because he did have a really good game to start off. I think a lot of players in these scenes, in every league, GM5, Oxleague, FBA, whatever leagues in this general area, suffer through that same issue. It's like they have the talent level to do really good in these leagues that they participate in, but they just don't have the stamina. They just don't have the energy levels, bro. They just don't. They just can't. They can't run consistently. They can't. And I think that's where the defensive issues come into play too for a lot of these players in the area as well. Is like defense is all about your ability to have endurance and stamina to keep up. You know what I mean? Like The shit's not easy. Running in a straight line is much easier than running backwards. That's just proven facts. You know what I mean? And that's why a lot of players just don't play great defense because they just don't have the stamina to go out there and run back and forth. A lot of players don't have the ability to keep up with their performance. Like they can start off well, but then it's like they're not looking for their shot as often anymore in the second quarter or in the third because now they've gassed themselves. And I think we mentioned it. We weren't doing commentary, so nobody could hear it. But me and Tyler were talking about it with a player like Hosea, for example, who has the ability to be a good player, um, but I think he overcompensates for for his inability to have the stamina by fouling hard every once in a while, fouling accidentally because he couldn't really keep it moving, or move his feet properly. Like he makes a lot of mistakes on the floor because of just the simple idea of being tired. And I think that's something that a lot of players need to take from this podcast today and understand like the game of basketball or any sport really requires a caliber of cardio that is
Except
going to
baseball.
maintain your performance. You know what I mean? So you say except baseball?
Yeah.
Kidding me?
Talking shit.
I don't agree
You
with
know how
that
much? You know how
whatsoever.
much we spent to run in baseball?
You know how many
Yeah.
fat guys are on a baseball team? A lot. But I'm not gonna
Yeah,
sit
because
here and
there's
argue
four
with you.
positions
You
where
know how
they
many
can be
fat
fat.
guys are in the
That's it.
NFL? Like you can have cardio and be fat. Like what are you talking about? You're a football
That's
fan.
a different kind of fat than the MLB guys.
No,
they're
it's
Not
even
a
not.
fat
fatter.
It's worse. What are
They're
you,
even
Tua, what are
fatter.
you saying, bro?
Those guys are in shape.
Those
Whoa.
linemen.
Oh,
That's
okay. I don't even want to make this a
that's my
football baseball
point. You see what
podcast.
I mean? That's what I mean. You just said it. They're in shape. You can be in shape and be big. You just proved my point. You can be in
I'm
shape and
not
be big.
arguing that. I'm arguing that there's a lot of not athletic people in the MLB who are not in shape. And I think people in the NFL are in shape and big guys are in shape because they are running and moving
I
consistently.
don't think anybody in the MLB is out of shape. I
Yeah, I
think that
don't
they're
think
fat,
anybody in
but
there. Yeah,
I'm telling
you
you
can
right
be
now,
fat, but you're
the amount
still in
of
shape.
running you have to do still,
Yeah,
there's no way.
I
no,
don't
one
think they
hundred
run
percent.
if they're fat. But
Everybody runs in practice. Everybody does. What
I
do you mean?
I
Yeah,
don't think those professional
that's such a
athletes
bad
are
take. That's
practicing
such a
every
bad
practice.
take. Every
That's
I'm
why we
every
being
needed
honest, bro. They
every
say it themselves. These players that say in the podcast, we didn't practice every day. You can't lie to the people and tell them that they're gonna practice every day. Half the time,
nobody said
like
anything
in
about
season, a
practicing
lot
every
of these
day.
NBA players don't practice at all. They
Nobody
don't.
said
They
anything
don't
about
even condition.
practicing. That's not the conversation. We're saying
Conditioning,
you can be fat
conditioning.
and
They
have
don't condition until the season starts. A lot of these
bro.
players don't condition until the season starts.
People work out in their daily lives, bro. They don't just work out when they're getting paid by their team. Like they go to the gym
Bro,
by themselves. Like what are you talking
I
about?
hear you, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about these professional athletes. When they come into the season, a lot of them play themselves into shape. I'm not taking away from what you're saying. Yeah, I do think you need to be in shape. I just don't think every sport, everybody's in shape. I think some guys are getting into shape or in somewhat some kind of shape.
Yeah,
But what I was
every
gonna
single one of these athletes is in shape, in much better shape than the players that I'm referring to in the leagues that we're doing,
was Shaq in
a
shape
hundred times.
ever? Was Shaq in shape? And
In a
that's a
much
perfect
better
example.
in a much
Depends on
better
the
shape.
person,
Yeah,
yeah.
That's a perfect
compared to the
example of a
average
person
player,
who
yes. Compared to the average player, yes. I'm referring to players who can't play basketball hard after the first quarter. That's what I'm referring to.
Like Bojan,
Like
Bojan
that.
Marjanovic,
I don't even know what
who
you just said.
is skinny as hell, but he doesn't have the stamina to play basketball like Shaq did for 30 minutes a game, even towards the end of his career.
Exactly.
And he
That's
was
being
big
in
as fuck.
shape. That's being in shape. If you can play for
I'm
that
not
long, that's being in shape.
I'm not arguing because I was the guy who was out of shape trying to play in the league, and I stopped playing because I was so out of shape. I'm not arguing your take, Nas, at all. I'm
But
just
you are
saying that
though.
everybody's in shape. But what I'm trying to say is you're right. I'm going to double down on that because that is very true. If you're going to these leagues and if you're going into these different spaces of basketball and you're wanting to at least even be on the court, that's even a luxury with themselves. Us and being in our 30s, not professional athletes, right? Let's just be real, like even wanting to be in an OBL court. Let's fuck because the OBL's courts aren't even that long, right? They play the half court, full court thing, right? Even in those leagues, I see guys huffing and puffing and ready to get out within like 2 to 3 minutes. So I do want to stay. I'm with Nas on this. I think conditioning and being able to stay on the court is like the biggest thing. And also not just being able to stay on the court, being effective, being, an energy guy, being something. Because if you're on there half the time with your hands on your knees and your guys blowing past you. And I see it all the time. And I see it in every league that we've been to. Every single league, there's always that one guy on the court who's a little bit out of shape that he's getting picked on defensively. Like it's happened. So I agree with you. I'm not taking that away from you at all.
That'd
I
be
just
me
don't
if
think
I was hooping. I'm fat as shit.
yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, that's why I gave up on basketball. I don't keep up with my cardio. So
we
why am I
talk
gonna
about
go
it.
out there and embarrass myself? I want to though. I think it's
Gene
a,
Doss play
I think
basketball though.
I think
He's
it's a
not
really
bad.
good. I think it's a really good way to stay in shape. That's always been my thing. I think when I played basketball consistently, I was in a much better shape because it made working out much easier. Um, so I do sometimes question, like, why do these guys have such a hard time keeping up with their cardio? Nobody, you don't have to go the whole 9 yards and do all the lifting and all the, working on your body. Like, obviously, that's recommended. Obviously, if you want to pursue basketball at a high level. But at the very least, you could definitely hit the treadmill for 30 minutes, 4 or 5 times a week. You know what I mean? Like, you could definitely do that. Um, and I think a lot of players would benefit from that. So that's just my take, really. It's not really about talking bad. It's just a recommendation that I think would make a lot of players better. I could make a whole big list about it, but that was the
So listen, I
off
got
season.
one more thing to say. I'm bringing it back real quick. We were talking about baseball. Prince Fielder has 2 inside the park home runs, and he's like one of the fattest MLB players ever. Inside the park home run, you need to have some level of speed to you.
Doesn't mean you're not fat, Tyler. I'm just saying they're fat and they're
But we were
professional
talking
athletes.
about speed.
No, but you're saying they're
and
fat and
stamina.
not in shape. Like that, you're not. You're taking back the things that you're saying.
Bro,
Now.
they literally have a position called designated hitter where they take as soon as he gets on base, they take the hitter off and put of someone who is faster called a pinch hitter in there to take his spot or
Pitch
pinch
runner.
or
They don't
base.
do that often. Shohei plays the field, and Shohei's usually defensive. Like, he's fast as fuck.
But
They
that's
just
not
play their
every,
best batter.
like, huh? Say it again.
They just play the reason that people are designated hitters because they're not good at fielding or as good at fielding as
Or
somebody
not
else as a
athletic at
position
all
player.
anymore, like Pujols was towards the end of his career. He was not athletic enough to be on the field anymore.
I
He
mean,
was
he's still
just out
playing
of shape.
first base pretty often.
True. I just feel like there's more fat guys in the MLB than anything else. That's really my take around all of it.
I think
I think there's way more
football
fat guys
has
in
way
football.
more.
Like there's way more, bro. How many
I think
line?
there's more out of shape fat guys in the MLB. Let me just
I don't
say it
think
like
any
that.
professional athlete is out of shape. That's ultimately my. I don't think any professional athlete is out of shape. Out of shape is I'm out of shape. That's what I consider out of shape. I think if any,
We're out of shape.
yes,
The
if
podcast.
we had to, you can go find whoever the fuck you think is the most out of shape player in the MLB right now. I promise you, they'll run circles on us in a fucking gym. Any day. It
Also,
doesn't matter what
I promise
workout,
you-
it doesn't matter what it is, they will run circles on us. You will be flabbergasted of how much they can keep up in the gym in comparison. Just because they're fat and their position requires less movement doesn't mean they're out of shape. They're in any professional sport, them being considered out of shape is by comparison to the other athletes in the league, not by average standards. And that's what I'm saying. Out of shape average
MLB.
standards are way different than out of shape in sports. An out of shape sports athlete is way more in shape than an average person out of shape. Way more in shape.
I bet
I
that
agree
they're
with that
also
too.
more in shape than NFL centers.
NFL centers are sometimes some of the most athletic human beings I've ever seen.
Sometimes. They're very specific sometimes. But you can admit that not all the time.
Yeah, I'm not gonna agree with you guys on this. We could go back in circles. I've seen a fat guy who was 340 run a fucking 4.8, 4.6. So like it's not about really being fat, it's about being out of shape. And I'm not talking about size. Because like you said, Tyler, there's skinny guys that can't even fucking stay on the court for more than 20 minutes without huffing and puffing and being drained. I'm not really talking about size. I'm just saying I feel like, and this is just my feeling, I don't want to argue it no more because I don't want the MLB to send their best fat guy to race me and then I'm losing a race against fucking Tatis or something like that. So I'm cool. But I'm just saying, in general, with my whole take about this, I just feel like that sport specifically, there's more out of shape guys than any other sport. That's all I'm saying. I don't even know how we got here, but we got here. But that's just all I'm saying.
We got here because of your terrible take. That's what we got here. You did this to us.
You talking a little crazy.
Get
did this.
Lando back in the building.
You did this. But that's enough for local basketball and MLB talk, I guess. we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget, next week we will be announcing our winner for 2K27. We will be giving out, unfortunately, you guys don't get the opportunity to get the pre-release, but you will get the game on release. So if you have not pre-ordered your game and you intend to order it later, hey, maybe you want to join the Athletic Club for a couple dollars and get an opportunity to win. If you don't win, then just go order the game like you were going to do normally. I think that's as easy as that, right? So, or join the Athletic Club. Yeah, it's as easy as that. Join the Athletic Club right now. You have 1 week to join because we're going to announce our winner next Sunday, and we're going to give out 2K27 to whoever the lucky winner is. So we appreciate y'all for tapping in this far throughout the podcast. We've had multiple debates, fun, exciting. Maybe not if you ask Pluto, but I've had an enjoyable time today here.
I had fun.
Proving him wrong.
You know me.
Shout out to everybody who tuned in this far. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. Hoop Talk out. Deuces.
It's a really